Welcome to episode 333 of Pub Theology Live, a sometimes weekly conversation on life and faith over a craft brewed pint, a fine wine, or whatever happens to be in your glass. On today's episode, the Reverends Shannon Weston, Ogun Holder, and yours truly, Brian Burkoff, address and engage what's happening through a theological lens with some sort of brew in hand.
And you can get even more content if you would like for some reason. We do a pre and a post show, and you can get that on Patreon, patreon.com/ptlive for a few dollars a month. You get access to that. And I think we got 2 or 3 pint glasses, Pub Theology Live pint glasses. We'll send you one for some swag. And as always, we appreciate our current patrons. So patreon.com/ptlive.
Today, we'll be catching up on some of what we've missed in the last few weeks because we have been busy people. So, sorry about that if you listen to us religiously, pun intended.
It's kind of like
So,
when the late night shows go on vacation for a week and there's all this stuff happening and you're like, "Where's my Colbert? Where's my Seth Meyers?"
exactly.
People are like, "Where's my Ogun and Shannon? And maybe
Yeah,
Oh,
Brian?"
you know who came back to make
that's
my
what people
day?
are saying.
Yeah, John Oliver came back last week. Tonight is back,
There you go.
and he had a good show. Gotta watch it.
Nice. We'll check it out.
So, with that, what is the some sort of brew that we're drinking?
Mm.
Rogan, what are you drinking today?
I think this is a pint. This is a what do we got here?
Ooh.
A Vice Bear, a Vice Bear,
Francis
Bear.
Hunter.
Funschlager,
Yeah,
Slanger,
Vice
Slong,
Beer.
no
that
G,
one,
Slonner.
that one. I can't say it, but I can drink it. There we go.
I can pretend.
It feels German.
I think it not only feels but is.
I think it is German and or Austrian and or some sort of
Yeah.
yes.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
That area.
That area of language.
That area. That's what I got.
A wheat beer looks like. That should be good.
Yes.
Brian, what are you drinking today?
Oh, buckle up. This is going to be impressive. Not. I am drinking a Michelob Ultra, which is not high on the list of beers. It's near the bottom. Not only is it a Mich Ultra, it's a Mich Ultra Zero.
Wait, what's happening? Are you
What
okay?
is the point of that?
What's the like? I might as well have a glass of water right now.
We might as well have a glass of water. What is
Listen,
even in there?
I got suckered in. I was at the grocery store and they had it where literally I've never seen them have free samples. And there was a guy doing free samples and he was catching me after a week of, let's say I drank too much. I thought, I should get some 0% beer. I took a sip. I didn't hate it. And I said, "Thank you for your service. I'll take a six pack." And then
I love how you
it's taken me a
say
while to get through them.
you said it's not on the bottom of the list. Are you sure?
I think so. I think it is.
If there was a bottom, it's now under that.
I was going to say what is under that? What is worse than that?
I knew it.
Oh my god!
Wow. So yeah.
Look at this color. This is
see, that looks like an actual beer.
Nice.
This is
Yes.
tasty. I realize we don't have good beer glasses in the house. Is what happens when you rent a place that comes fully equipped. You don't lean into buying things. So I'm going very European with tiny glasses.
I like it.
See, that's what they drink wine out of, though.
That's a great yes. That's a great glass.
There you go. What do you got, Shannon?
I have a New Belgian triple, which is
out of me.
I know, so good, right? It's a standard solid beer.
That's close to the opposite of what I'm drinking.
Yes, exactly. Really tasty, nice coloring, has alcohol.
Is a real grown beer.
I think that Brian, when you do this part, you need to play the Be a Man song over this portion.
Nice.
Be a man. That's what needs to play right now.
Wow.
Michelob Ultra Zero.
For the total zero in your life.
Ooh, hashtag. We need to patent that.
I know.
Michelob Ultra. Knock on our doors.
They have the gall, though, to say it's a superior alcohol-free brew.
Oh.
Of course.
What's the male version of a basic bridge? Like a dude bro? Like what? How does that translate?
Wow.
I wouldn't even say like Michelob Ultra is a dude bro drink, but like,
Zero.
what's the zero?
Mick
Anyway,
Yeah.
Ultra is like the marathon or the CrossFit guy who drinks right after the workout, or I don't know,
yeah, yeah.
something,
Oy. We'll
something.
think of something.
So we have been away for a little bit. Apologies to our listeners, but schedules, travel, etc., has just happened. It is, as we're recording this, Fat Tuesday, otherwise known as Mardi Gras, otherwise known as the eve of Ash Wednesday. So we're on the
Or
cusp,
Carnival, if you're over here in
or
Lisbon.
Carnival,
Carnival, or in
Carnival.
Brazil,
Carnival.
Carnival.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. I know. I should. I feel like I should at least have some kind of fat donut or punch key here to balance out the all
But
this gross.
I love that we still have this ritual of the day of decadence before austerity when no one's really doing a whole lot of like
I
religious based austerity as
Yeah, it's
much.
like I just came through dryish January. Now you want me to give
You know.
stuff up like in February? Forget it.
No,
So
No, thank you.
we've missed a few things. While we've been away, we're gonna kind of hit some of the things, but it is the Winter Olympics still happening right now. Life may have you too busy to pay much attention, but do you have a favorite Winter Olympic event to watch? And then secondly, if you could suddenly be given the skills to be a Winter Olympian in any event, which event would it be?
I have my favorite sport. Confessing you cheated on your girlfriend. Did you
Yes,
all hear about this?
that was
No.
amazing.
You didn't hear about this? Oh my god. I forget which sport it is. Biathlon. There's a biathlon guy, and he won bronze medal, and they're interviewing him on TV. And he decides to admit he met the love of his life, and
Oh
then
God.
6 months later, he cheated on her. So now he's basically trying to win her back by confessing what a douchebag he was to the world.
To the world.
To the world.
Like
Yeah.
the interview is hilarious because the interviewer is like, "What does this moment mean for you winning a medal in the Olympics?" And he's like, "This is the worst day of my life because I feel
Yeah.
like I made such a huge mistake." And then he goes and spills all the beans.
And then I found out later, like they asked her, they found the girlfriend and they
Oh, they
asked
did.
her, yes, about it. If they're getting back together. She goes, no, I've emailed him and he knows my thoughts on the matter. It was
Okay.
wild.
How
Wild.
not to get a woman to stay
Oh
with
my
you?
God.
Like,
Wild.
this is the like how to lose a guy in 10 days, but
Yeah.
like like, oh yeah, embarrass her in front of the entire world.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like,
That's there
like
you
I
go.
think in the emotional moment, he probably thought she'll see me like confessing to everyone. That'll show how genuinely bad I
Yeah.
feel.
Now I am a good guy because I fessed up to the
Yeah, you
world.
guess
That's
what,
not
bud?
how
You
that works,
calculated
That's
way
friend.
not how
wrong.
that works at
That is
all.
not how that works. Because if she stays with you, then the whole world knows
Right.
Yes, right,
that he cheated on you.
right.
No,
Oh my
that's not
God.
how this works.
Oh my
And
God.
what are his prospects for anyone going forward? Not great.
It's what you call all in and
And
all
listen,
over
I'm
the
not
edge.
trying to say that like couples don't work things out after cheating about like that
Right.
is
Right.
not what I'm saying. I am
I
just
know.
saying don't tell the
That's
world, the
that's not the way to do it.
entire world.
Yes. Not
That's not the way to go
not
about.
everything is everyone's business.
Not everyone is
Oh,
outside talk. Not
oh
everything
my
needs to
God.
be said on the outside.
Oh my God.
Exactly. So, do you
So,
have if you were to if you like if there's an event on that you were
yeah,
going to sit down to watch, which one would it be?
speed skating. I love speed skating.
Speed skating, like around the track.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
fascinating.
No, I hear you.
I
I
like ski jumping
Yes.
mm,
for a few reasons. One, I mean, it just looks cool, like they're flying, right?
mhm.
Take off, they're like soaring. That looks cool. When they crash on takeoff, that just looks like what?
Okay, so speaking of weird things, because you all brought one up, have you read the article
No.
about certain men
That was my
doing
third thing.
things to their bodies
Yes.
That was
to
my
get
third thing.
farther in speed jumping or in
Yeah.
skiing jumping?
That was my third thing. Yes.
Ooh, listen, I would do a
Wow.
lot of things for a sport I loved, but I don't know about all
Oh
that.
my God.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
I
wild.
love speed
Ski
skating.
jumper.
I do like jumping and like luge and stuff like that. But the I think it's called mogul, where they're
Yeah.
like just I cannot watch it because my knees hurt just watching them. I'm
Oh,
like, oh my God, these people are not going to be able to walk in their 40s.
it's
Like
amazing.
they're gonna need knee replacements next week. Like
It
I
is
just can't
wild to
even watch it.
watch. It is wild to watch. So my favorite is probably a tie between downhill skiing, just the regular downhill, fly down the hill, fastest, and couples figure skating,
Mm.
which
Oh, do
is,
you like that?
oh my gosh, I love it. Like, this is a spoiler alert for anyone who maybe some reason isn't going to watch and whatever. By the time this comes out, it was aired last night, and even that was tape delay. But this Japanese couple just killed it. It was so flawless, and the music complemented their skating, and it was like unreal. It was so good, and it like
Yeah.
seeing that, it just fills your heart in this strange way that other
Brian,
events for me don't.
Brian the Romantic.
I
Yes,
know.
it
I
was
know.
cool. It was
Who
very
hadn't been alone with his wife on a vacation in 20 years, but finally took one, thank God. Hopefully you got a night away to yourselves or something.
Thank God. Actually, I remembered there have been others, but not a
Oh,
lot.
well, okay. Clearly they were memorable.
Watch,
Anyway,
watch, watch those confessions to the world, man. Dude, you're not.
yeah, be careful. Be careful.
I had other vacations with her, but I totally forgot about them. God.
So if I could be
Ooh.
given the skills, it would be the downhill skiing because that just looks fast. Like the
Hmm.
adrenaline, they're going like 70, 80 miles an hour down that hill. Like that look like I'd be scared to try to do that, but if I had the skills, it would be so fun.
My skill would be being happy in the cold. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, I do feel like we need to move a couple of the indoor summer sports because like it's indoors, who cares when it doesn't matter when you're doing it, to the
Ooh,
winter. I just
right.
think we need to like maybe mix it up a little.
Fair.
um I honestly, I think I if I could give it any skill, like I would love to be able to snowboard, but like
Mm.
I have like I don't actually have an interest in learning. I think I could learn if I had an interest in it. But like if I had those skills, I think that would just be so much fun. I think it would
Yes.
just be genuinely fun
Agreed.
to do.
Good call.
So, but I do want to give gold medalists to the drone dry like flyers.
Oh,
Gold
so good.
medals to like they better win
Hmm.
Emmys for their coverage. That's all I'm saying.
It's
Like
pretty sweet
so good.
when, yeah, when they get right behind the skiers, that's pretty awesome. So it's now a week and a half removed, but any thoughts on the Super Bowl or the Bad Bunny halftime show?
It was so good.
The halftime show was awesome. The game
It
was a
was
bit of a whatever.
the game was what I felt was predictable and maybe even less so than I thought. Like it was like
Yeah.
I think the Patriots underperformed and I wasn't expecting a lot from them and I think they still underperformed. But
Yes.
anyway,
But anyway, halftime though, how good was that?
halftime, so good.
That was a
And
good show,
I'm
yes.
sorry, 100% with the I want to be a grass
Yeah.
memes and videos.
Yes.
1,000% bring them on. Send me all the grass memes. Like,
Love it.
love every bit of it,
Love it.
every single bit of it. Also, there's a bunch of like reels, which maybe hit a little close to home. I just want to name about like all the white women moving their furniture out of the way for the halftime show so they can do their Zumba dances during halftime. Those are classic as well.
Oh Lord.
Nice. I hadn't seen
Because
that.
in my Zumba class, there are two Bad Bunny songs we do,
That's
just so everyone knows.
amazing.
What I'm loving secretly in my heart that nobody's talking about is all the like MAGA women, MAGA white women who are watching it, then hearing a song they knew and it was familiar from their Zumba class
Oh,
and
sure.
not putting two and two together until that moment.
Well,
They're
and
not
also I
they're
saw
not
that
known for their math.
I saw that Caroline Levitt turns out had listened to Bad Bunny and or was a fan, and then she's out there dissing supporting what the president said about it.
Sure, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Because God
mean,
forbid.
all of that political nonsense is so performative. it's so overreachingly performative that it's become a parody of itself, and it's
Yes.
just ridiculous.
I will say some of the Kid Rock memes were also
Oh
hilarious.
my God, the
Oh,
Kid Rock memes were so good. And there is one, I guess there's a John Stewart clip our daughter was showing us about something about like anyway, it's it's an anti-woke song and it's some
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
I just want to live or whatever and he's like
I
I
just
just want
want to
to
drive my truck and drink my beer and
and
mow
drink
my
my beer and
lawn.
catch my fish and he's like those seem like really doable things. Like those seem
Yes,
like
yes.
really attainable
But
goals.
yes,
Like
yeah. What is the problem? Who is stopping
I
you? Is
who's
believe in
stopping
anyone
you
you.
from
stopping
doing
you
all
from those
this?
things?
I mean,
Oh
but I
my.
can't do any of that because of woke.
Exactly. Like, and it's funny because she started describing this, and I'm like, well, you probably can't because we've lifted all the environmental stuff and we're
Yeah,
like dumping, so you probably can't catch your fish because they're glowing in the dark. So, I get it.
right.
You can catch them, you just can't eat them.
You just can't eat them. Sorry.
You used to throw a fish back for humanitarian reasons. Now you do it so you don't die from
So you don't
poisoning.
die.
Or
Yeah.
for pescatarian reasons. All
No,
right.
Oh my
pescatarian, you
goodness.
can't eat them.
Yes,
Fair.
Sorry.
that's
Sorry.
the only one you can eat.
So if there
Ugh.
wasn't enough BS happening in the world, killing of civilians in
Oh
Minneapolis,
my
etc.,
God,
then we've
this.
got the president sending out a video depicting former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama as apes, like horrifically awful, tapping into obviously deeply troubling racist tropes. And he's just like, "Oh, what? What? It was a video about voter election fraud." And I didn't watch the whole thing, and says I did nothing like, and he's like blaming a staffer, but it's his personal account and it's almost midnight. Like, give me a freaking break. You did it, you. But he can't own up to it, right? And he has said he doesn't even need to ask God for forgiveness. Like, don't you
Yeah.
think people would respect politicians more if when they screw up they said I screwed up?
So
So,
go ahead.
well, I was just going to say, so I read this morning. I taught a course this morning, and I read this because today the Reverend Jesse Jackson died, and this is the quote that I opened up my training with. So I'm going to share this
Oh,
because
good,
it speaks to this question.
good.
Leaders must be tough enough to fight, tender enough to cry, human enough to make mistakes, humble enough to admit them, strong enough to absorb the pain, and resilient enough to bounce back and keep on moving.
Ooh,
So that's my response to I did nothing wrong.
and
It
that's a
was
Jesse
a
Jackson quote.
That is a Jesse Jackson
Yep.
quote.
It was
Amazing.
it was it was a better time. It was a better time.
It was a better
I,
time.
I I think I think the posting of stuff like this, I think this is their constant. Let's do a line check. Let's see where the line is. What can we get away with,
Totally.
and what can we get away with the folks on our side? It's a loyalty litmus test. Are people paying attention? And but in doing so, it's also pulling the line a little bit further into depravity as well. So yes, it's
Well,
absolutely all intentional. Let's see what we can get away with. Oh, we didn't get away with that this time. Okay, we're gonna but we know now this is where the line is. Let's bring it back a notch because now we're going to post something close to being that horrible, and now no one can say anything because we didn't do the really bad thing we did last time. So it's really clever, I think, cultural programming for the worst. But yeah,
For the
it's
worst.
also still like, hey, look at this shiny object over here. Get mad at it, which is
yes,
clearly terrible and bad. And don't look at these Epstein
don't
files over here.
exactly.
It's it's
Yes,
it's just that over and
don't
over and over again.
don't look at the fact that economists have the numbers to prove that all these stupid tariffs are that we the people are paying for them,
That ICE
not
is
the other
still in
countries.
Minneapolis, that blah blah
Yeah,
like our
like
neighbors are
all
still
all the things,
disappearing.
all the
Yep.
things.
But
Yeah.
look over here.
Yes. There was a great, probably a bunch, but one in particular tweet or post that said, oh, look at the ICE raids in Minneapolis to distract from the Epstein files, and then the economy to distract from the ICE raids to distract from the Epstein files, and the racist post to, yet again
Mhm.
distract. It's
It's
just
it's the it's the it's the move. It's the cup game,
Yep.
yes.
right? Just
Yes.
keep moving the cups fast enough. we won't pay attention.
I mean, this is not just narcissistic behavior. I mean, this is sociopathic behavior, right? This
Yes.
is
Yeah,
the like
yeah.
your feelings don't matter, nothing matters. All that matters is what I think.
And
I mean,
like truth, there, like, what is truth? Like the pilot quote from
right.
2 centuries ago or 2 millennia ago, it like still applies in a horrific way. So we also just had the Pam Bondi
Oh my
hearing
God.
this week in which she couldn't be more detached from reality. She said she couldn't answer a single question. It's just, how dare you question President Trump, the greatest president that this nation has ever known, and the Dow 50,000, like, just what are we doing here?
We're
What?
trying to keep our jobs. It's called job preservation.
What are we
Well,
doing?
it's also called keeping herself out of jail because she was the um
The Florida
district
Attorney General.
the Florida Attorney General
Hmm.
when all of this was happening.
Yep. 100%. And that campaign ad of hers resurfaced when she ran for that post, which was, we are going to get the sex traffickers and we're going to put them in prison. A literal Pam Bondi campaign ad.
Man. Yeah.
So,
Did not age well.
Well, neither are
speaking,
any of
we
them,
can move
so.
on from that because it's
Sure.
all BS. But I saw a post about Jesse Jackson from Reverend Otis Moss III that I want to read because it's just so good. He wrote with a photo of Jesse Jackson. Before there were, quote, progressives fighting against income inequality, there was Reverend Jackson. Before there were anti apartheid activists, there was Reverend Jackson. Before there were warriors against the 1% elite, there was Reverend Jackson. Before there were activists fighting for Palestinian dignity, there was Reverend Jackson. Before there was a DEI movement to include women, Latino, Asian, and Black people as part of Fortune 500 boards, there was Reverend Jackson. Before there was a fight for affordable health care for all, there was Reverend Jackson. Before there were environmental activists, there was Reverend Jackson. Before there was the modern solidarity movement, there was Reverend Jackson fighting to unite Black and Latino. When America could not get hostages released, they had to call Reverend Jesse Jackson. Before Barack Obama, there was Reverend Jesse Jackson. This generation does not know how consequential your work has been to human dignity. You are now an ancestor and a beloved prophet.
Hmm.
That man was an ancestor before he died. Let's just be clear.
Yeah,
Like his
exactly.
I
his
added the now part. The
legacy.
now was not in the
Oh,
post,
okay.
so that was
The
on me.
the legacy of who he was and what he did, again, not just for the civil rights movement, but for America in general. They're gonna be studying that for years.
Yeah,
Well, and actually going back to this previous thing about the tweet and not apologizing, like
right.
Jesse Jackson had a gaffe when Barack Obama was
I remember
running for
that.
president and a
Yeah.
hot mic and he made a comment and came out and took responsibility for that comment and you know and again that's the leadership, right? It's not that we would ever expect our leaders to never ever make mistakes. Of
Right.
course they did.
Yes.
Like, of course he does. Of course, whatever. Now, like, is it unfortunate that he said that on a hot mic, blah blah blah? But like, also, then it sparked conversations that we needed to have anyway. So, but the ability to take responsibility for that, the ability to come forward with that, and to move the conversation forward is what matters.
Yes.
Not that he made a mistake.
Correct. Correct. It's just, you see, I don't know if you've had the chance to see the interview podcast with President Obama, sort of in part responding to some of what happened with that social media post. And every time you hear him speak, it's like, oh yeah, this is a real adult. This is
Mm,
a this is someone people can look up to. And he too obviously was not perfect, but nobody is. But
right.
he carries a dignity. He talks about actual issues. He doesn't flippantly use words. You miss that so much right now. Like, I hate that my kids are growing up with this clown show of an administration because it's just so, it doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah, I know. I know we said when this happened, it's like, and again, I go back to this. It's not like Jesse Jackson is a great example. It's not about perfection, right? It is about like that one foot in front of the other and to keep showing up when for what's right, even when you don't do it perfectly.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah.
And
and it
being
wasn't
led,
just,
go ahead.
I was gonna say it wasn't just the American Civil Rights Movement. Like he showed up in Northern Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
Like he showed up when injustice
100%.
was found. Like he showed up over and over and over again. And I
100%.
just such a lesson. Anyway.
Yeah, totally.
That's
So,
what a lifetime of service to what's right.
Mhm.
That's what that looks like.
yes.
And yeah,
Yeah,
you don't
right. Being led by a vision of human flourishing instead of, I don't know what vision we're being led by now, but it's just make the wealthier wealthier and be as racist as possible. And oh, so what if we ruin democracy along the way? Like, what is that? There's no core principles that are at least
mm,
good.
mm. Rest in peace. Rest in power.
So we have a quote from Mark 6 on walking on water, as well as a Mahatma Gandhi post. We could do both. One, either, neither.
Now it makes me wish Gandhi walked on water. That way we could cover them both. but we're going into Lent. It is the eve of Ash Wednesday. Let's talk Jesus. Let's go
Let's talk
Jesus.
about Jesus.
Okay. So Mark 6:49 to 50 says, but when they saw him walking on the lake, they thought he was a ghost. They cried out because they all saw him and were terrified. Immediately he spoke to them and said, take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid. So the question is, how do you read stories like this in the Gospels, which have Jesus doing something that seemingly defies the laws of physics and nature? Does it matter to you if Jesus literally walked on water, or if this was a story that grew over time, or was intentionally symbolic or metaphorical?
I would like to call it the time Jesus walked on that sandbar.
Yes.
That tells you where
It
I
was
am.
low tide. It
Low
Yes.
tide, sandbar,
was
you
really
know.
late. Everybody's tired.
He had
They've
No,
been
really
drinking their
wide,
Michelob Ultra Zeros, they're
right.
a little
it was a
tipsy.
golden hour where the light was reflecting just right off the surface of the lake.
He had that
And
Galilean lager in one hand.
exactly. Exactly. um I think the literalism of the story, if you choose to believe it literally, I think it only matters in as much as that literalism is the linchpin of your faith.
Right.
And then if for some reason you stop believing in the literalism of it, then all of a sudden, like, baby out with the bathwater, everything's done.
Right.
So, I remember I remember as we are again hopping into Lent before Easter, um, I upset congregants a few times when in the past I would say things like, I've gone back and forth between believing if Jesus literally rose from the dead, and whether I know there's some people, because I'm in a Unity church, it's a New Thought church, so we got people believing all kind of nonsense. So I'm like, I know some of you here may still believe it, some of you don't, some of you don't know what to believe. I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter either way. What matters is, what is this story inspire in you? What does this story represent about your own awakening and revelation? That's what matters. The story matters, not if it happened matters. And then a very angry congregant came in on Tuesday and was like, I need my minister to believe Jesus rose from the dead. So I will no longer be giving money to this church. I'll still attend and do all the fun stuff you guys do, but I won't give money.
That's what
And I
this person
believe
said.
that's what they said. And they were like, and they're like, don't get me wrong, I'm on board with like 90% of what you say, but that one, I was like, well, then if you're bored with 90%, just give 90% of what you usually gave, because
Bingo.
I'm still gonna get my paycheck. You're not punishing me. Let's be
Right.
frank. All you're doing is hurting and possibly depriving yourself of all these other activities that you say you still want to show up for. So,
But isn't that interesting? And that person represents a fair number of Christians, right?
oh,
Where
absolutely.
it is like you pulled the pin out, and now it's like, oh well, I guess this all wasn't what I thought it was, or something. Like it either has to be 100% one way or it's zero.
But not
Right.
only that, don't like your where you are in your faith should not be determined by what your minister believes. Like
Yeah.
we're on our own journey. We are going in and out of our beliefs. We are questioning. We there too. We
But
went to
Logan, you're
seminary.
supposed to
That's
believe harder so that I don't have to believe as hard.
exactly. We're supposed to tell you what to believe. I'm like, no, no, we got questions too. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. Um,
Well,
but
right.
sorry,
So
go
would
ahead.
you rather me stand up here and lie to you? Like, is that what you're
Ooh,
asking me to do?
yes, yes, some
Like,
would.
and
Some
so are you
literally would.
They
well,
would.
right. Like, but this is the, I mean, I think this is the question. Like, I always, okay, right? Like, I love when you drive by a church sign and it says, we preach the Bible. And I'm like, what do I preach? Like, what do what
Yep.
does that even mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, we all read scripture and anyway, but it's like, it's this literal, right? Like, then literalism is your God, right? Except
Yes.
for the parts where we're to, like, my kids were telling a story. Sorry to tell on them. They were telling a story where they were with their grandmother at the time, and like a friend who happened to be a pastor stopped over, and they were just talking to the kids and whatever, and said something like, just very like, yes, we love everyone, and their MAGA grandmother comes running in going, you're brainwashing my grandkids, you're blah blah blah. And I'm like, so we take all the Bible literally except for those parts. Like, where
Mhm.
we're supposed to love people that are hard to love, and
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
etc.
It's literal when it comes to the miracles, but on the woke stuff, nope.
Nope, not so much. But so to your point, like, right, like the resurrection thing, like, we have a confession that we, like, I believe in the bodily resurrection, and I,
Fingers crossed.
people have gotten into a lot of trouble for questioning that.
Yep.
But again, it's one of like this moment of like, I don't know what they saw. Like, I don't know what like, what were the weather conditions? Like, we're all like,
Yes.
we're all going, I don't know. But like, why are again, the sacred cow stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but what is an interesting question to me, actually, the more interesting question about these stories are, what is the significance of telling the story in a way that
Yes.
he walked on water,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Hmm.
What
What is the power in that for
what's the
those
power of
readers?
that story?
I mean, if he swam to the boat, we would not be talking about it right now.
Exactly.
So,
That wouldn't be a story to tell. And then be like, oh my God, is there a dragon in the water? It's an eel. And he's like, it's me. Don't be afraid. That's just a Tuesday, you know?
Exactly.
I think they
Exactly.
did it so you too could write the lyric, Jesus, can you take the time to throw a drowning man a line or something?
Is that before or after he took the wheel? I'm not sure.
He's driving the speedboat.
Exactly.
Oh man, Jesus could water ski without the skis.
I mean, I think it's a beautiful, if you
What
want to
would
call it a metaphor.
Jesus's favorite winter Olympic sport be, you think?
I mean, that's the question. And maybe it was icy.
There you go.
That's
Walking on
fair.
water, not so hard in winter.
Right. But Shannon, you were going to say you think it's a beautiful.
I think there's a beautiful metaphor here of like not limiting not limiting the power of God, or not limiting the depths in which God would come to find you, not limit, right? Like, I think you can go all kinds of directions with
Yeah.
this. I mean, I could also go to a point where like what water symbolically has been in scripture, and water is life and the presence of God. So what would it mean that Jesus can um be, not anyway, what does it mean that Jesus himself would be able to defy the laws of what we know of water,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
also water could also represent like the deep and chaos, and they were afraid of it, right?
They were
Like they
afraid of
weren't
that. Yep.
swimmers by and large, and so for Jesus to be able to conquer what was one of their deep fears obviously carried a lot of weight.
And I mean, the two famous miracle stories on the Sea of Galilee, which these most of them knew very, very well, right? They were
Mhm.
fishermen
Right.
on, by the way, it's a lake. Like those of you that are picture, like, it is a lake.
Yes. We call it the sea, but it's the
We
lake.
call it a sea, but it's not. And it is not a Great Lake. It is
It's
a
not even as
lake.
big as a Great Lake.
No, it is a regular ass lake.
It's a regular. Wow.
It's a
I
it's
think that
a
might
it,
be a direct quote from the Aramaic.
I
Jesus.
think so. On this regular ass lake on this Tuesday,
show title. It was just a regular ass lake.
a regular ass lake. But like, look it up. It really is. But and they're afraid because he's walking on water, and so that's a moment that they're afraid. So what are they afraid of?
Yeah.
What's going on, right? And then the other one was the calming of the storm, which
Mhm.
again is
Yep.
scary, but the lake is not that big. So if you capsize, you could swim to the shore.
But they don't swim. As I
Clearly not.
understand it, Jewish people at the time did not know how to swim.
What?
They were black Jews.
I'm sorry. You can say that. I can't.
I'm black. I can say
I
that.
could be wrong, but that is,
They don't want to
I
get their hair wet? Like, what is
we
happening here?
We can have to look that one up.
they just did
I was going
not
to say,
swim.
where,
But either
if this
way,
is
right?
true,
But I think
this
if they
is
didn't
true,
swim, it's even more powerful because there's a storm, and if they capsize, they actually might die, even if it's a lake.
Yes, and it
maybe
was
Jesus was swimming to, maybe Ogun is right. Maybe he was just swimming to the boat and they'd never seen anybody swim before. Brian, this is wild and insane.
I think
We
that's
solved
right.
it.
And you know why? It's because he stayed at
Solved
the
it.
YMCA and got swimming lessons.
Stop
God.
it. Oh, this
Oh
cannot
my-
be like this is this the best like oh
This text has never been so illuminated ever.
We solved it. We solved it. We got to keep Brian on that Michelob Zero. That's bringing his best out.
there
Please
is
work.
no way that's true. Like you are just
I
absolutely
I always say the true miracle of that calm in the storm story was, again, assuming if it happened the way it did, the true miracle was the fact that he was asleep the whole time,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And similar to this one that you just quoted, for me that's saying, like, you, when you are grounded in God, when you are grounded in your divinity, the conditions don't matter. Like, you transcend everything. You are not subject to the external forces. You're God manifest. There's nothing you can't do, you can't achieve. There's no way you can't show up as the avatar of love and it not turn out okay. And I feel like those are all the Jesus stories.
the
Except
avatar
maybe
of love.
except maybe the crucifixion. But all the other stories.
By the way,
Right?
and here is, by the way, our show title. According to the internet, Brian is wrong.
You needed to go to the internet for that? Really?
Wow. Spoiler alert. And also breaking news.
Breaking news: swimming in the time of Jesus was common, particularly for fishermen in the Sea of Galilee, where they used swimming skills when working with nets. And there are techniques and many things to prove this.
I hope
Why
that
would you
wasn't
even
AI
look it up?
telling
Did
you
you
that.
actually think he
Of
had a
course.
chance of
No,
being
I
right?
didn't. I just
Come on.
wanted to be able to say that according to the internet, Brian is wrong.
Yeah, that was probably Google AI. I want to see some
Oh
first
my
century
God.
scholarship.
Oh my God.
But
Oh
But
my
I do
God.
like, I do
The
love,
fisherman didn't swim.
you know what? I'm going to challenge any of our listeners to preach
the
this
best.
text and act like swimming in the first century was not a thing.
It's
They
not
didn't
a
know how to
thing.
do it. And Jesus actually just swam to the boat. He was like doggy paddling to the boat.
exactly,
And
he's
they were
doing
like,
breaststroke, and they're like, "What the hell is this?"
exactly.
Follow us for more sound theology
Yeah, exactly.
and biblical historical scholarship.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
Stuff that may or may. Speaking of metaphorical, symbolic, and stuff that may or may not be true.
We cannot take this much time off again. It did not go well.
Wow.
We're all
There,
just
there
done.
goes all my
Like,
Lent sermons.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Miracle stories. They just didn't know how to swim.
Exactly. I mean, after all, it was just a regular ass lake. So.
It was just a
we are-
regular ass lake.
Oh my gosh, that was good. I needed this laugh today.
Ooh, how long were you carrying that tidbit of knowledge that you were so
He was
Jesus.
waiting. He's like,
my
this is
God.
my gullibility test. This is gullibility test with people,
Wow.
Amazing.
That was worth it. That was worth
All right.
it.
But no, listen, guys, this is a midrash I can get behind, right? This is the kind of midrash I
Yes.
live for. That
Yes.
I'm like, what if they couldn't swim?
Yes.
Like, I'm all in on that kind of midrash.
I
Let's
love it.
rewrite the story now.
Yeah, I mean, it just unlocks so much.
I mean,
This makes me want to literally believe in the Bible now.
I know, just so you can like kind of like, wow, that's amazing.
And that's why all those pigs died when they went over the cliff. They couldn't swim
Well,
either.
that I do believe that the pigs did not know how to swim, but only in the first century. Now pigs swim every day.
Oh my God.
I don't dig on
Oh my
swine
God.
either. All right.
Oh,
Bringing it back. Bringing it back. So, smooth transition to our
I don't know if
closing
he can
hopeful
top that. I don't know if he
topic.
can top that.
Are you? You can't top it.
Ooh.
But
Okay.
despite all the chaos in the world, Mahatma Gandhi once said, "When I despair, I remember that all through history, the way of truth and love has always won. There may be tyrants and murderers, and for a time they may seem invincible, but in the end, they always fail. Think of it always." Do you agree with that? Does that give you hope, or does it feel like that's just wishful thinking?
Well, my favorite retelling of this quote, if it will be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. Boom.
Ooh,
Exotic Marigold Hotel. I think that's where the movie
yeah.
came from.
sweet.
I
But
like right. So I was talking to a client who is very involved in the activist protest world, and we were discussing a little bit how like you're walking through the world right now, like we're walking through the world right now, and you're like, how are people just like out there buying a pizza? Like, how is this? How are you not affected by what's going on? It's
Right.
kind of that feeling, right? And it's like right now, part of resistance is going out and getting a pizza and feeding my family, right?
Yeah,
And sitting down at the table and whatever, or sitting in front of the TV or whatever.
sure.
Like that has to be part of the resistance. And the conversation a little bit was like, yeah, but that feels like a cop out. Like that feels like just not, just something that's not real. And I'm like, I completely disagree.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I completely disagree. Like, I was driving the other day. I'm going to DC once a week, and sometimes I have to go really early. And so I'm like seeing the sunrise. And, I'm sorry, these days your instinct is to like grab your phone, and I'm driving and I'm like, this isn't a capturing moment. This is a memory moment.
For the record, these are the first sunrises Shannon has ever seen.
Ever seen, because mornings are stupid.
It's a miracle. That's the true miracle now. Now we're
But
talking about miracles.
But like, just like every once in a while, I'll walk out of the grocery store, like right at dusk, and the sky is just lit up as pink.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
And you're in the grocery store parking lot, and you're like, this beauty is happening all the time, and I get to be privileged in this moment. That's how I think of a quote like this. Like, I we have to take the moments that are super, super normal, and I'll just keep going with my regular ass, like a regular ass moment, Brian.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean,
I
And
have
that's
I
this
hear
like
you though.
line.
that's sorry, go ahead, Shannon. You have this line.
I have a line in my funeral, like at the very end, and I say, I've just used this phrase over and over again of like, in a prayer where, and we hold the memories of the monumental and the mundane.
Mm.
And I love just
And to be clear, when Shannon says in her funeral, we're not talking to a ghost. She
in my
in her funeral
funeral
sermon slash
worship.
script. Just
Yeah,
to be clear.
when I am
Just to be clear.
when I am officiating a funeral,
Yes,
I
there we
say,
go.
Understood. Understood.
Because the first thing he said
Absolutely.
was like, "Oh, you've pre-written your eulogy, and this is what's gonna be in
"Oh,
it."
I have not pre-written my eulogy, but if you would like, in that file drawer right there is my funeral folder in case I die."
There you
And
go. There
literally
you
it's
go.
labeled in case I die, in case anybody wants to know.
But to your point, this is why joy is an act of resistance, right? Because in the face of oppression, the fact that you can still extract joy, find beauty, find connection and community, because that's what oppression seeks to suppress.
Mhm.
Oppression seeks to disconnect you from all of that and keep you in such despair and hopelessness that you don't want to act against it. So the fact that anyone can in the midst of it do that, plus it's how you stop yourself from losing your mind. I will say, recently, I was telling somebody this, recently. Here in Lisbon, it's been raining since, I don't know, December the 23rd. I'm not exaggerating. Like, January was the second rainiest month on record. It was like relentless. And in Spain too, like, also disastrous flooding. People have died. They've had to evacuate some towns and villages. Like, it's been bad over here.
Mhm.
And um, but and what that does for me is, when I don't get a lot of sun, like a lot of people, like, my mood goes in the basement. And part of what I was feeling, honestly, is when I'm seeing the stuff going on in the States, like in Minneapolis and all these other places. And there's that part of me that began to feel bad about being here, not being
Right.
there. And I was telling a friend this, and they were like, "Oh, you have survivor's guilt." And I was like, holy shit! Like, I never. Thanks for articulating that this is what I am feeling.
Mhm.
And now that I've named it, I can go like, and that's okay, not the survivor's guilt, but the fact that, you know, I was able to curate, build a life such that I can still be a voice for liberation, for deep spirituality in the way I know how to be, but I'm also curated a life that isn't dictated by just constant fight and oppression, by
Yeah.
constant, like this is what we're trying to get to, whether we do it in the States or we do it in another country. I recognize the ability to migrate somewhere else is like, a bucket load of privilege. I get that. And at the same time, finding a life of joy and happiness is not a bad thing. It's not,
Right.
it's and it's basically saying to all the people who create all the chaos, like, you're not stealing my spirit. You're not stealing my hope.
Mhm.
You're not stealing my life essence,
Amen.
which is kind of like what you're trying to do, and you're running yourselves ragged doing it. So yeah, I'm kind of winning here.
Exactly. So
And
my life of joy is a big FU to them.
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
And isn't this, I mean, not to bring it back to Jesus, but like, isn't this a little bit of like the poor will always be with you? Like, isn't this a little bit
Ooh.
of that too? Like, we also need to take time and be good to ourselves. We don't need to take that too far, but like,
Yeah.
it's okay to care for yourself, be with your friends, have a good time,
Exactly.
relax. The poor will always be there, that kind
which
of a
which I think also is the Easter part of one of the Easter lessons, the resurrection story. It's like, there will always be an opportunity to triumph over the darkness, over the
right.
oppression, over all the things.
Yeah.
And this goes along with the Gandhi quote, like, there will be moments when it feels like the oppressors have won, but if history has ever proven anything, is that the empire will always fall. There will
Mhm.
be attempts at new empires, but the empire will always fall. I will tell you, the empire of artificial intelligence right now is giving me cause for pause, because I'm like, because of the way it has infiltrated and embedded everything at a pace that we can't even like keep up with.
Yeah.
I'm like, there may not be a way to extricate yourself from it,
Yeah.
other than like really going off the grid in a way that might not be healthy. But I think also there will come a point in time, probably not my lifetime, where we also find a way to harness that, transcend it in a way and use it for good and not the craziness. Let's go back to that stupid video that they posted. Like,
Right.
it'll sort itself out. We will sort it out. Not it will sort itself
There you
out.
go.
We will sort it
There
out
you go.
eventually.
And I think just the last thing I'll say about that is like, I think a lot of people look at those quotes and go be like, oh, well, then I don't have to do anything. And it's the opposite, right?
Right.
It's the point is to take these moments of joy to do this because when your moment comes, you need to be in it. You need to
Yeah.
be able to show up. And again, going back to the Jesse Jackson stuff, right? Like we each have our parts to play. And
Yeah,
if we're doing that, we also need to balance. It
exactly.
is that
Otherwise, you burn
balance.
yourself out and you're no good to anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you, friends, for tuning into Pub Theology Live. You can show your love for the show by becoming a supporter on Patreon. Get access to pre and post show banter and more. Visit patreon.com/btlive to get started. And a big thank you to our current patrons. You can watch full episodes on YouTube, and our top cities tuning in this week are Hong Kong,
Woo!
whoa, Des Moines, which, like, man, two different places. Let's just be honest.
Let's
Our
just be
wide
honest.
In so
reach.
many ways. In so many ways.
Wide reach. In Phoenix, my parents must be listening. That's scary. And if you'd like to start a pub theology gathering in your town, find support or resources at pubtheology.com. So until next time, friends, drink responsibly and keep those conversations flowing.